Alright people, I get so many questions about my freshwater moray eel. People ask if they're really freshwater, what do they eat, how big do they get, do they bite, and many other things. So today I'm going to answer your most asked questions and clear up any misconceptions about keeping a moray eel in an aquarium. So yeah, if you ever thought about keeping a moray eel, or if you're just curious about them, then keep watching this video. You might be surprised at what you learn. Right, so the first question is it really a freshwater moray eel? And the answer is yes. My moray eels are tiger moray eels. Their scientific name is Gymnothorax Polyuranodon, and as far as I know, these are the only true freshwater moray eels that exist in the hobby. Now, some people do confuse them with the Gymnothorax tile. That species is brackish and they have more of a brownish color, whereas the tiger moray eel or leopard moray eel has more of a leopard print. But yeah, there sometimes is some confusion between those two species. Now, if you needed any more proof, my first moray eel, Lily, I've had her for nearly 3 years now, and she's been in a fully freshwater setup the entire time I've had her. And I recently bought another one. His name is Lucci, and he has also been raised in freshwater his entire life, and he is absolutely massive. So yeah, once again people, these are fully freshwater. Now, the next question that I get a lot is, what do you feed your moray eels? And when I first got my moray eel, I started her off on bloodworms, and then when she got a little bit bigger, I moved on to earthworms, and as of right now, her main diet consists of raw shrimp, and occasionally I also give her some earthworms and some river shrimps. Now, the next question that I get a lot, which kind of ties in with the previous question, is how long did my moray eel take to start eating? And yeah, the answer to this question is a bit interesting. You see, my first moray eel, Lily, she took nearly 2 weeks to start eating, and the reason for that is because moray eels are quite intelligent, and when you buy them at the store and they arrive at your house, they do sometimes take a little while to adjust to their new environment, because that whole moving from one place to another can be really stressful for them. And yeah, like I said, for my moray eel, it took her about 2 weeks to finally settle down and eat properly. However, having said that, my most recent moray eel, Lucci, yeah, he pretty much started eating on the first day or the second day. Like on the day I bought him, when I got home, it was kind of evening time, so that was technically the first day, and he didn't eat on that day. But the next day when I put in food, which was the first full day in the aquarium, he started eating straight away. So yeah, the answer is a little bit mixed, but if you get a moray eel and they're not eating for the first week or two, yeah, just understand I went through the same thing, and based on the amount of times I get asked this question, a lot of people go through the same thing. Now, as a little side tip, if you are struggling to get your eel to eat, you could try adding some garlic to the shrimps. That does encourage the eel to eat the shrimp. I made a whole video about it, so I'll put it up here somewhere if you want to check it out. But yeah, that's a little side tip there. But yeah, the next question that I get a lot is, how big are my moray eels and how big do they get in general? Now, in regards of how big my moray eels actually are, I am honestly not sure, guys. If I had to guess, I would maybe say they're close to 40, maybe 50 centimeters. Like, I have tried, but they move around so quickly, it's quite hard to follow them with a tape measure and try and measure them. So, but in regards of their full size, apparently they get to around 60 centimeters, and apparently some people have seen even bigger ones. Now, the next question that I get a lot is, does my moray eel bite me and are they aggressive? And people, in my personal experience, I have seen no aggression from my moray eel towards me. I've actually done an experiment on it. I'll put it up here somewhere if you want to watch the video, but I tested out whether my moray eel would bite me, and I literally put my hand in front of her, and I even done little things like touch raw shrimp, so my hand smelled like shrimp, and then I put them in front of her and she went right up to my fingers and like sniffed them and that, but she did not bite my fingers. However, in that same video, she did accidentally bite me when I was hand feeding her. I had a really small piece of shrimp and she tried to eat the shrimp, but she kind of caught my thumb a little bit, so there was an accidental bite. But in regards of actual aggression, I've never had anything like that from my moray eel. I mean, my wolffish, for example, I'd done a similar video there where I tested out whether she would bite me or not, and yeah, she bit up my finger, man. I mean, she didn't break any skin or anything, but she definitely attacked my finger. But yeah, my moray eel, I've never had any aggression from her. Now, with my new one, I'll be honest, I haven't actually tried anything with the new one yet. However, based on his behavior so far, he doesn't look aggressive at all either, and freshwater moray eels are actually surprisingly chilled. Now, the next question that I get a lot is, what size tank do moray eels need? In general, they do say somewhere around 300 liters would be ideal for a freshwater moray eel. Yeah, they do need a decent sized aquarium. Now, the two that I have, they are completely fine in the Roma 240. They chill together, they both have their own individual caves, and sometimes they chill together in the cave, and honestly, it looks really cool. And they do nibble at each other every now and then, but that is pretty normal behavior for moray eels. Long story short, as long as they can stretch out fully and they have plenty of swimming space, you should be fine. Like I said, I keep mine in a Roma 240 240. However, I am going to set up a 6-foot aquarium soon, and one of them, or maybe even both of them, will move over to that 6-foot aquarium. And you know what, whilst we're talking about this, I might as well give you guys a quick update on the 6-foot aquarium. So for anyone who doesn't know, I've decided to get a 6-foot aquarium so I can keep some of my monster fish who I would otherwise have to move on soon, one of them being Jimbei, my stormy catfish. And yo, so many of you guys have been incredible to put some money towards the aquarium, and I appreciate it so much. And yeah, for this video, shout out to the Red Tree, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And then big shout out to one of my long-time subscribers, Darren, thank you so much, bro, I really appreciate it. And we had another one from Magwall Blood, thank you so much, bro, I really appreciate it. And of course, all of this will go towards the 6-foot aquarium. And people, don't worry, I'm doing my bit as well. I'm trying to cut as many costs as I can, you know, staying away from luxuries like junk food or drinks and things like that. And at the end of the month, I'll see how much more I can put towards the aquarium. We're trying to get to £2,000, so it might take a little while, but thank you so much to everyone who has supported the journey so far. Right, now moving on to the next question that I get a lot, and that is, do they escape aquariums? And the answer is yes. People, freshwater moray eels are escape artists, and if you have any small gap in your aquarium, they will find it and they will escape. So make sure you have a tight fitting lid, and even those small gaps that you sometimes get on the back of the aquariums that lets the cables go through, make sure you put something in there. Like, I've stuffed some sponge into that gap to make sure my eels don't escape that way. And I've actually received comments where some people unfortunately lost their moray eels because they managed to escape out of the aquarium through a tiny gap. So yeah, even if you think the gap is too small, just stay on the safe side and make it escape proof. Now, another question I get a lot is, can you keep it with other fish? And here's where, okay, how do you explain this? Yes, you can. You definitely can, because I am keeping them with other fish. However, guys, you do need to understand that if you are going to try this out, there's always the danger that your moray eel might go after some of your fish. They are natural predators and they are nocturnal, which means at night time when your fish are sleeping, they can be easy snacks for these eels. Now, in my personal experience, as long as you keep them well fed, they don't go after your fish. So like, if you're asking me for my personal opinion, I would say it should be fine. However, do keep in mind that every single animal is different, and you could get a moray eel today that is particularly aggressive and I don't know, they just go after everything. So just keep that in mind. Now, the general rule is anything that can fit in their mouth can end up as a snack, and anything like shrimps or anything like that, they will definitely end up as snacks. So don't even bother adding in any shrimps. But yeah, fish that are too big for them to eat, like Bozeman rainbow fish or the stormy catfish or snakehead gudgeon, the ghost knife fish, archer fish, yeah, they are all living with my moray eels and they all get along perfectly fine. So yes, in short, you can keep them with other fish. Just please understand that they are predators and it can also go wrong. Now, the next question that I get a lot is, how long do they live? And moray eels can live for quite a while. If you do everything correctly, they can live for over 10 years. So if you are thinking of getting a moray eel, just be aware that you will keep it for a long time, and also keep in mind they do go quite big. Now, for this next question is, what's the hardest part about keeping a moray eel? And that's a very interesting question, guys. Honestly, there isn't anything particularly hard about keeping a moray eel. I mean, yes, you do need to make sure that you have a good aquarium with a good filter and good water quality. That is the case with most fish, and especially considering that they are pricey, you do probably want to have at least a year's worth of experience with fish before you go for a moray eel. I mean, they can set you back a few £100 depending on the size. However, if you do have the general knowledge of how to keep an aquarium and you've been in the hobby for at least a year, then guys, honestly, there is nothing particularly hard. I mean, they're very hardy, they find their own spot in the aquarium, and as long as you feed them, they do tend to be happy. Now, there was one really frustrating thing about my moray eel, and that is she does love to dig her own caves. And yet whenever she done that, she pushed up all of this debris into the air, and it's not actually debris, it's the plant substrate that I have underneath the gravel for the plants, and it just makes the aquarium really messy. However, recently I did find a solution to that, which is by putting a wave maker on the other side of the aquarium, which pushes all of that debris to the outtake filter. I made a whole video on it. If you want to check it out, I'll put it up here somewhere. But yeah, I guess that was one of the bigger challenges, and honestly, I guess that's it, people. I mean, the other thing, I guess, you know, the fact that you can't keep smaller tank mates with this fish, but I feel like this is common sense, really. So yeah, I know I was waffling for a while. Guys, it's not particularly hard to look after them, but just to stay on the safe side, you do want to make sure that you have plenty of experience of keeping fish, and and that you have a good routine in regards of your water changes and feeding and plant maintenance and things of that nature. Now guys, this was a slightly different style of video, so let me know, did you enjoy this? Do you want to see more videos like this for all of my other fish where I answer the most asked questions? And of course also, if you want to see more videos like this every single week, then please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Now, like I've mentioned a few times in this video, I did test out whether my moray eel would bite me, and she did actually accidentally bite me on my thumb. And if you want to see that video, then click right here.